Right now, it's time to deep dive into the collectively crushed soul of the degenerate trifecta in a segment we hate to call BetAches. Mine's easy. Friday night, Mets, Phillies. We're all going. Mentioned it. Parlay Kid, Parlay Kid's wife, brother Bry, our friends Joey, our friends Chris, our friend Frank. Scherzer's on the hill. I have Yankee fans at the game, like I mentioned. But we're all going to be rooting for the Mets because we all have a ton of money on them. And I land in New York. I empty all my accounts. So I'm putting it on Scherzer, minus 250. I start up new accounts. I find accounts that don't even exist. It's all on the Mets. And what happens? The bats go dead. The Phillies, after being lambasted by Keith Hernandez for being so sloppy, put on a clinic on the field. It's like Ozzie Smith spent a week with them in preparation for this series. And what happens? Diaz shuts them down in the top of the ninth. We hear the horns. Everything's beautiful. We got a runner on third with one out. And Marte is thrown out at the plate in the bottom of the ninth. Vogelback just didn't hit it deep enough. Close play at the plate. We looked at it from 47 angles, and he was, in fact, out. And, of course, the Phillies score in the top of the 10th on a play at the plate, and the Mets can't counter. And we lose. We lost it all, Brother Bry. And you even fractioned it even more by betting in game.
Yeah, we lost it all. I mean, I will say it was great seeing you guys. It's great seeing Sal and the friends. But was it worth it? Was it worth thousands of dollars? No. Debatable.
We see each other on Zoom every day. What's the point?
It was debatable. It was debatable. But yeah, I did the same thing. I put a ton on them to win. And what are the odds, right? You have a chance to score. You make the last out at the plate in the ninth, right? You let off at the double that inning. It was kind of disgusting. It figures it ended that way. But I will say, I told you guys, what was it? Was it last week or 2 weeks ago about the live betting? Mm-hmm. And I figured, you know what? Let's do a little live betting here, actually live at the game. Mm-hmm. I said I would never do it again, but it is real. It was even way more exciting, I would say, live. So
at the game,
what I decided to do in the fifth inning, Bohm leads off the inning. So I'm like, you know what? I see him plus 250 to strike out versus Scherzer. So I figured that's a good number. 0-2 count, barely fouls off the third pitch, then battles back, then ends up having a weak grounder to short. So I'm annoyed with that already. I thought maybe I was going to get the strikeout there. So I was like, all right, next batter, Real Muto's up. I'm going to bet him to have a strikeout again. I think it's plus 180 this time. I think it was a 1-2 or 2-2 count. Again, another weak grounder to third. I lose that bet. Now I'm staring at the next. Castellanos now comes up plus 175 to strike out. Do I bet it? No. Does he strike out? Of course he does. And that's when you think like the gambling gods, right, are just fucking with you, right? They're just messing. They're just messing with you this whole time. Mm-hmm. So that was a fun one. So again, I will say I'll never do the live at bats again for at least
good. All right, for the second time, you're never going to bet live at bats. That's good. All right, I think by the 57th time you'll actually ring true. Sure. All right, Parlay Kid, you had some. In addition to having the Mets right off the bat, you bet them in the extra innings when they had the runner on second.
I had the Mets first five. I have the Mets to win the game. I have the Mets minus 1.5. It all looks like losers. So the bottom of the ninth, though, it's 1-1, right? I decide to live bet the Mets. But as I'm doing it, and I don't know how Brian can get these bets off so quickly. I'm just not. I guess I'm a little slower on the phone, like getting the stuff in.
He's like a maestro, yeah. The first chair.
Just like,
I don't know what musical instrument it is.
He's just boom, 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 right, and just gets it in. I don't get it in at minus 190. It was like, what were the Mets at that? I forgot what they were, but I was surprised. I was getting some, I thought, favorable odds. Mm-hmm. But now there's a leadoff double on the first pitch. There's like a leadoff double. The Mets have a man on second. I'm like, I didn't get it in. I go on and I see I could still get it in, but it's minus 600 now on the Mets to win. But I'm like, the Mets are winning this game, right? Like, leadoff guy is on with that double. Sal, like you said, they advance him over on the next at bat. Mm-hmm. He's on third. Vogelback comes up, pinch hits, slaps the ball to, I guess, medium left field, right? It wasn't too shallow.
I thought it was long enough. I really thought it was.
Seemed long enough, but to the left fielder's credit,
Great throw.
He did exactly fundamentally what you're supposed to do. Circled the ball, got his momentum coming to the plate, throws a strike. He is out at the plate. I had forgotten about my bet at the point because the play was so exciting. But we still had extra innings. And then extra innings, same thing. The Phillies push across the guy on second. The Mets get him to third with one out. Naquin strikes out. Weak grounder to end the game. We lose all around. And this is the kicker in the whole thing. I was 0 for... The Mets gave up 2 runs all weekend, one being the 10th inning run in that game. And I was 0-2 with the Mets this week. How is that possible? They gave up 2 runs, and I went 0-2 betting them with strike. I had them -1.5 Friday and Saturday were my big bets. And they give up 2 runs, and I lose. I go 0-2. That is almost impossible.
There you
Statistically impossible.
That's what a Yankee fan gets for betting the Mets. Now you know. Just stay away from our team, Parlay Kid. That's it.
Ridiculous.
Harry, you had no bad beats, right? I mean, your betting was the trying to build a pitch stop, right? For 3 days.
Yeah, pretty much. And that failed tremendously. Yeah, definitely. No good.
All right. Mikey Meatballs, let's hear the music. That's terrible.